Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all our generous patrons who've kept us going for over 390 episodes.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideoGamesPodcast. Dude of the week is Raylo Bombad. Thank you, Raylo.
Thank you, Raylo Bombad. Is that like Bombad Racing? Super Bombad Racing?
I'm not really sure, because don't we know someone who goes by a nickname Raylo too?
I don't know.
I'm not. Oh, you know what? No, it's that's Kenny's kid.
Oh,
yeah. In reference to the
Kylo and Raylo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, all right.
Thanks for bringing that up for him. You know, what if it's not?
What if it's not a reference to that at all? Then correct me. Tell me I'm an asshole on Twitter, and I'll retweet it and be like,
We
yes.
both went to Star Wars. I find that funny.
But as you can see by my sweet and sexy mustache, for those of you watching on video,
yeah,
I kept
Andrew's
my
really
promise.
going into the 70s porn industry, man. He's gonna find it. He's gonna find a time rift, and he's gonna go back and he's gonna fucking kill it.
Here's the thing. It's sort of working for me. I did it as the joke. Like, I promised before the wedding that I would do it, but I was like, I don't want to do it for the wedding in case it looks like trash. But it's actually sort of working. I don't know. It does kind of work for me. It's weird. But of course, I got to thank our sponsor for that. I'm talking about Manscaped, and they provided me with the tool that made this super easy. That was my point when I said I'll do a mustache, is that mustache is going to be a pain in the ass if you have bad clippers. But with the Beard Hedger Pro, it's remarkably easy.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's remarkably easy. I used two tools out of the Beard Hedger Pro kit. I use, well, three if you count the scissors, but I use the comb that I have in my hand right here, and of course the Beard Hedger itself. The Beard Hedger just took off my beard so fast.
Again, works in a way Todd Howard would blush.
It's so good.
Like I've used it each time I've used this now. It's just kind of like, okay, I need like one pass, pretty much in a quick one pass, and it's good. Like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, you can get a little more finer details. And the great thing is, of course, is the patented. I don't know if it's patented actually. The dial in the middle. There's a big thumb roller
that lets you adjust by half millimeters
on the fly. So you don't have to take it off on, put all these different, adjust the height and adjust the thing. Nope. It's straight and to the point. It works really well. It does wonders for your chin beard, just like their other product, like the lawnmower, does wonders for your ball beard.
A size comparison. The lawnmower is small and light, very maneuverable for all the angles you got to get down there.
Yeah, and it's got that one, and the lawnmower's got a flashlight on it. And like this one's got the thumb dial, that's got the flashlight.
Which we also like a lot.
They say you can use these in the showers. We've not been brave enough to try, but they say they're waterproof.
Yeah, I'm not. I still haven't been brave enough to try this because there's open.
But
ports,
it's there.
But...
It's there. It says it is. Oh, and this is great because it uses USB-C to charge the Beard Hedger, which is also really nice because everything uses it now, including phones all the Apple phones are gonna start using it. But either way, the point is that the Beard Hedger is the best damn. I mean this. It is the absolute best damn beard trimmer I have ever had, ever. And I have gone through many throughout the course of my hairy ass life.
And if you want a sexy, sweet mustache like I have, with the
or you just want to have something that works like a charm immediately and well, and you just trim it up real good,
head over to manscaped.com. Use our code YoVG, all caps, for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code YoVG, all caps, at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Your balls and your chin will thank you.
Get you covered crown to crotch.
God, still so good. You know what? I would just let them use that. So
I know, and one of our patrons, or at least one of our listeners, is the one who came up with it.
Crown to crotch? Hell yeah. Well, thank you.
Zybernite came up with that one. So
Ooh. You got to tweet it at them, and maybe they'll start using it.
tweet him or thread him.
The ugh, thread.
Hey,
Here's the thing.
topical.
Okay, look, here's the thing. You're gonna run over to Threads, and then you're gonna come immediately back because Twitter's a dumpster fire, but Threads is still owned by Zuckerberg. Okay, like it's
Two
still bad.
wrongs don't make a right.
Right. Let's just stay with the ship until it goes down, and then just stop being on social media. Is all I'm saying. That's my plan. I'm just gonna let Twitter die,
Would
and then I'm
love
done.
to, but can't.
That's
Love
true.
to, but can't.
That's true. Everybody I know in the industry is like, well, without social media, how are we gonna get movies made? And I'm like, well, the same way we always do. You're gonna go get drunk with someone and convince them to give you money.
You know, that was a really interesting article I read
Like,
where someone was just kind of like, how much trouble is Disney in, because all their movies are not performing super well. Only Guardians 3 is going to be the Guardians 3 will be their best performing movie all year, and it only got to 800 something. Whereas in 2019, every movie they released got to a billy.
yeah.
But then it's like, okay, but in that same article, like, this is not just a Disney problem, because they said the only movie this year that hit over $1 billion, and the only one that the one movie that might be the only one to do it is Super Mario Brothers, Universal Illumination film. Everyone's doing bad. Everyone.
Well,
Transformers did bad. DreamWorks Animation did bad. Like,
here's the thing.
there was something else that did really bad. They're all doing bad. Spider-Verse has done well, but it's not done as well as it should have because it's way better than every other film this year. But
yeah, everybody's burnt out on IP, recurring IP. I'm tired. I want to go see a movie, not a long TV show. I don't want to
right.
see an episodic movie. I want to see a fucking movie.
And yes, I did mention Spider-Man is doing well, and that's an IP. But do you know what that film has that the other ones don't? It is taking fucking crazy swings artistically.
Oh yeah.
Like it is some shit you've not seen before.
I mean,
like, that movie
across the
does
Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse, and the first one's Enter the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, into
the Spider-Verse.
Enter.
Well, the first one, the first Spider-Verse movie, might be one of the best, if not maybe just outright the best comic book film we've had. 10 years at least.
At least, yeah.
It might just be the best overall. I love not Civil War. It's Winter Soldier. I loved Winter Soldier, but Spider-Verse is just maybe better overall. I think the second one is weaker than the first one, but still pretty fucking good.
But like, you also have to admit though, like the crazy shit they do, even more crazier shit. Like,
oh yeah,
and not just for being crazy. Like, yeah, there's the Leonardo da Vinci vulture, which is just a fucking crazy thing to see, like visually. But even in the slow down moments, like this is a little bit spoiler, but like, it's not. When Gwen is arguing with her dad at multiple points in the movie, and the entire like lighting and background changes to the mood that the character is feeling shot to shot, which is something you can't do in live action. It's something like, hey, we're making an animated film, let's do something fucking wild, or it's just something that's like, this is something an art film would do, and only an art film would even try to get away with.
And live action films have done it. That's the whole point of mise en scène. But fucking, you're right. In an animated film, you can kind of go balls to the wall because our suspension of disbelief is already automatic.
Yeah.
Right. You're already watching something that isn't real, in quotes. So you're willing to accept crazier ideas. I do think that it's the best comic book film probably out there. And the second one did even wilder stuff. There's a couple of wackier ideas that I sort of wish they did, but I'm actually like, it was smart they didn't. Like, they had one of the Spider-Man that was from a universe where they're all action figures, and so there was going to be a giant hand manipulating it in the chase scene. Just in the background, you were going to see this giant hand manipulating it. And part of me is like, that's genius, but also part of me is like, that's so absurd that it might have ruined the realism of the idea.
It was already like some of that was already tough because, like, okay, there's a toy universe, you know,
Right,
and then like
yeah.
if you look real hard in the background, there's a popsicle
Yeah.
chasing him at some point.
Yeah, there's Lego. There's Lego in the background chasing him.
Mhm.
I don't know, the point I'm getting at there is like we're really, really, really tired of episodic and like IP based
Yeah.
stories. I think we're just also one is, and part of what we're going to be talking about today is the content mill around that shit
Yeah.
is every bit as exhausting. I don't want to have to watch 10 YouTube videos, read a wiki page, or 100 comic books to understand every reference you're stuffing it. Get the fuck out of here.
And this is what I was saying, like to Max and Kenny and Steve, like, yeah, I think right after like our last stream, we were talking about kind of like the same subject where I'm like, yeah, the only film that's done phenomenal numbers wise coming out of COVID, like really phenomenal. Mario is pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, phenomenal numbers is Avatar 2.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like, because people are like, no one talks about this movie. I'm like, here's the thing. Sometimes people don't fucking like have to like indulge in something completely on social media. You have to have like some fucking hot take or whatever. Sometimes people like just want to watch a movie. And the thing about Avatar is like, it's a sequel, but it's a sequel 12 years later. 12 years later, not 2 years,
Right.
12 years.
So it feels fresh still.
And it's a sequel to an original IP from 12 years ago. No one had to read anything up on no one had to read, you know, a mini a 25 issue run from the 1970s. Nobody is going to
Right.
have like some weird leg up. Like you're gonna like, oh, you're gonna have a greater appreciation and understanding for all these characters if you've read this fucking novel or indulged in this thing or researched that fucking, like it's all fucking brand new. It's all right out of Big Jimmy's head, from the first to the second, and the second is very far apart spaced out wise. So it's like it's just, oh, and it's just nice to have like, okay, this is a fucking trip. I'm going on a fucking ride. It's not going to
Well,
be the same if I watch it at home, and I don't have to have shit knowledge going into it. I can just go into it and I can just fucking watch it and just be like, wow, this is fucking pretty.
so when movies switched from an art form to a product, and there's different periods where you could argue that's what happened. I would say it probably happened in the mid 2000s is where it really started. Like film switched
Mhm.
from its own independent art with its own language to product or content, if you will.
Yeah.
When everything started being labeled as content, um, it's one of the leading into, our critics out of touch, and I'm actually going to argue they are not. It's we who are out of touch. But um, it when you had your own language, now every movie's trying to like do the same language as TV or the same language as comic
Mhm.
books or the same language as novels. Like, no, now we're
It,
because
it's
everything has to churn into this final product of
it's
content,
hard.
movie
It's
content.
hard to say too. Where is Iron Man responsible for this? Because it feels like they already knew that's where they wanted to go with Iron Man with the teaser at the end.
Well, that's why Disney,
Is
well,
it
that's why
more?
Marvel dominated, is because they
Yeah,
had a
well,
plan.
they had a plan, but is maybe the problem with this constant like regurgitation of IP or constant like feeding it? Is it Lord of the Rings? Can we blame Lord of the Rings as like it was this series of films planned? Because like Star Wars had three episodes. Yes, Indy had 3 episodes originally in the 80s, right? But it's like you could tell fucking right away they did not have a fucking plan for where they were going to go with Star Wars as they were making the original trilogy. George Lucas might swear up and down to his grave, but like it's fairly fucking obvious to me that like
Yeah, it's
George
clear.
Lucas had like very very vague ideas where he was going to go with
George
Star
Lucas was
Wars.
an indie filmmaker who had no idea if the next movie was ever going to get made ever at the
Yeah.
time. So to pretend that he had this overarching plan is it's just I think it's a marketing ploy to like draw you in
Yeah.
to like try and
Maybe
get you
maybe
to get
for
into the theater for the third one.
Maybe for the prequels, and then you could argue because the prequels came out before Lord of the Rings the prequel trilogy is maybe responsible for this drive for serialization,
Well,
if you
no,
will.
actually, what I think happened is quite literally, it's when tech entered the film industry, and I think that entered um, probably the mid 2000s, the late 2000s. But basically, when you had the idea of a cinematic universe, where you had like a
Mm.
universe where now it's like, oh, it's not just a movie and a trilogy, or now we're not going to make, if the idea of the universe existed when they made the Lord of the Rings, you
Mhm.
wouldn't have got 3 movies, you would have got 9 movies, and they would have been like, oh, here's our next 9 movie plan, here's our slate for that.
At least 6, I think.
Right. And they would have started with The Hobbit. Because they
Yeah.
would have, that's their plan, right? That was
Yeah.
still the time when Lord of the Rings came out. It was such a big deal that they greenlit all 3 movies.
And it was very hard to do.
Right, because it was like no one did that. No, they would have made the first one, seen how that did, and then they maybe would have greenlit a sequel. There's never been a guarantee for sequels ever until like Marvel came along, Disney really, but like Marvel was like, hey, we're going to make 10 movies. No matter how many of the movies, like how they do, if in the middle 2 of them slump, we're still going to make the other fucking, 4 movies left over. That led to one, consistency for the first, the first arc, say. So it had consistency of quality, it had consistency of stories where every movie slotted in kind of perfectly. The problem is that becomes exhausting.
Yeah.
It's novel the first time they do
Well,
it.
there's the argument. I think James Gunn himself made it that like I don't think there's comic book movie fatigue. It's just crappy movie fatigue. And
Bad story fatigue. Yeah.
like Max and them, they all kind of like totally agree. I don't even know if I 100% agree. I don't like. Part of me is a little bit like I'm just fatigued in general a little bit. I didn't even see Guardians 3, and there's nothing against Guardians 3. I don't. It's probably great. I just
Yeah, it was fun.
I just didn't get around to it because
If there
I
were
don't.
no more comic book movies, would anything of value be lost to culture? And I'm not even saying that to be a dick. I'm not trying to rile anybody up. I'm just saying that like video, or not video game, but like comic book movies have become content to the point that comic books were, right?
Right.
Like they're being churned out. They're not like they don't want a
There,
person to
there,
make a statement.
there, there will. I mean, well, there are some. I'll
There's
argue there
plenty
are.
that stand out.
There's plenty of sound. There are those
Yeah,
that make statement, and it is just like comic books in that sense,
right.
where we got to some point in the early '80s, and then it was like, okay, now Frank Miller makes The Dark Knight Returns, this sort of standalone graphic novel based on Batman that's just sort of like stand out. Like, no,
Well,
I want to do something very particular.
graphic novels and comic books are vastly different in the sense that
Right.
graphic novels have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and comic books are
However,
serialized. They're forever.
yes, but comic books will do that where they'll do the run
Right.
of the
Yeah.
comic books for like, hey, it is a graphic novel. We're releasing it very chopped up
Hmm.
into monthly
Right.
segments, and then there'll be a TPB trade paperback, once it's all done. Some of them are planned like that. Dark Knight Returns, Watchmen, stuff like that. So, and yeah, and I don't, the thing is, I'm like, I don't even have a problem necessarily with comic book movies, if as it were, really. It's kind of like
I do.
it's kind of like with gaming in a sense now too, because there's a 50 billion 11 remakes.
Right.
Like there's a lot of, like, this year alone, a ton of remakes have come out and they've been good.
Yeah,
They are
everything's
good.
about remakes and IP, existing IP.
Yeah.
That's something, you know, uh, the topic that we're getting at here is like, oh, are critics out of touch? Because very often critics will shit all over something that audiences like, or they'll love something that audiences hate. And my argument there is that, especially in film, like a lot of those critics, they're hired because they went to school for film criticism, which is, it's just a school to make you as literate in the language of filmmaking as possible. And comic book movies, especially ones made by directors that have been working in the industry a long time, have all that language. And sometimes because they want general audiences to understand more of the nuance of the story, they'll use bad filmmaking techniques to make it easier to follow the film in a way. It's why you'll see movies that have like fucking terrible editing or pacing purely to make sure you see all the insert shots that they're using. They don't want to. They don't want to do eye tracking to figure out how best to follow all this action. No,
Oh,
they'll use
so they
CGI to
they
make
don't
sure
want to
you're looking at the
they
center of
don't
the
want to
screen.
do the Fury Road technique of like,
Right.
this guy is coming from this side of the screen. He's going to fly up. He's going to drop the Molotov, and he's going to exit there. So when we cut the shot will start where the action is, where your
Right.
eyes left the last shot, because that film's actually edited magnificently and won an Oscar for it.
It's incredibly well edited. The reason that they don't want to do that it's easier to basically make all the work be the visual effects guy's problem is that they want to take as much as they can possibly do and put it on the back end, because that's where they have 100% control.
Yeah.
Right. The studio has 100% control over visual effects. They don't have the director used to, in a way, do everything they could to leave as little for the studio to recut at the end.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like this is why storyboarding is so fucking important.
Right. Yes. Yeah. You basically want to have as little extra footage as possible so that a producer can't step in and recut your film for you. Ridley Scott is famous for this. He basically got so frustrated by studios recutting his shit that he would edit it all in his head, storyboard out the important parts, and then just shoot the bare minimum of what he needed. It makes him extraordinarily fast.
Yeah, because he would come in under time, under budget.
Under time, under budget, because he would shoot a third of what they expected him to shoot of what they budget for.
I think there was something about that when because he did All the Money in the World, that movie, and they had to edit out Kevin Spacey, and he was going to reshoot the whole goddamn film with Christopher Plummer, and he was going to do it in a month. And they're like, "How the fuck are you going to do that?" Because I'm Ridley Scott.
Right. I mean, whatever you want to say about his latest films, whatever. Dude's a genius, and he started in commercials and had to be really economical because you don't have a lot of time to communicate some pretty complex ideas sometimes. You know, he would maximize film language to communicate as much as possible in the shortest amount of time. But the thing is, that doesn't necessarily work in a comic book film. It can.
Yeah.
But it doesn't all the time.
Yeah, and that kind of can have some issues with, like, do I attach myself to the characters? Do I feel like there's been enough there? Or maybe you're trying really hard to get me attached to these characters, but it's just coming off as too bland and bloated.
Well, they can also leave a lot of that character attachment out, a lot of that work to get you to care about them. They go for the quick and dirty route, the manipulation route to care about it. The 9 heroic traits. They'll go to that right away. One, because they think you already care. They hope that you've already watched 10 YouTube videos or a TV series or saw the first 3 films or whatever. And so they already think, okay, you already care about Captain America. Now I'm going to give you one little quick snippet of, like, look, he's hurt. You love him. Now throw him into the story. And that's fine for comic book films, but it doesn't compete with, like, a good singular film, like a film made to stand completely on its own. In my opinion, is going to be stronger story wise.
I don't know. To me, like, it's just kind of like a lot of it has to do with just sort of direction, cinematography, little things. Like, I will go back to my eternal wellspring of, say, Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
And you're introduced to Joy in the first scene. Joy's in there. And first it's a little off because you're like, oh, someone's in the house. And then no one's in the house. Then it's a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of that simple scene with the hologram, you already like the character.
Right.
And you probably spent 3 minutes, 5 minutes of screen time with them. You
and
already like them.
They're using manipulations there, yes, to get you to like her fast, but they're using old school, like, film techniques, not relying on you to know the character from some comic book.
But then that's literally part of the film story too, is that it's manipulation. I'm manipulating you to like this character because I've done all these things, and they meta-eyes the shit out of it.
So, but here's one of the things that, like, critics will often shit on a newer film. Say Indiana Jones, the new one. it relies too heavily on nostalgia rather than like telling a good story. Or you'll see someone be
Which is
like,
such a bizarre statement to me because that film felt like it treaded the line very carefully to not be nostalgia
right.
heavy. Like,
So I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. I'm real excited to see it, but it's like I just haven't been able to go see it. So I'm not saying this is my opinion yet, but
mhm.
I do think a lot of the critical response to it that I've seen is typical of the critical response to most things that would be considered an IP or a comic book
Yeah.
film. And Indiana Jones, now the fourth one, was shot like a comic book film, not like the original concept. The original concept of Indiana Jones, the first three, uh,
You're on the fifth one, right?
huh?
You know
Yeah,
we're on the fifth.
yeah, but the first three
Oh,
were
yours
shot
was right.
like a old serial
Mhm.
1930s, a lot of practical effects that they knew the audience wasn't necessarily gonna like go like this is real. Like there's a suspension of disbelief in those old serials. The acting that Harrison Ford was doing was very reminiscent of the old serial, where like he gets punched and his legs go weak, or he makes these exaggerated, you know, uh,
That's a good shot though in
it's a
Raiders.
wonderful shot. But that Spielberg himself says that he is trying to emulate his childhood favorite serials that you'd see. They had to
Yeah.
communicate a shitload very fast because they had 10 minutes to tell you a complete story, so it led to its own language. Well, the fourth one, by contrast, was shot um very much like a comic book film. Lots of CGI, lots of very clean cinematography, extremely clean. That's the biggest problem, in my opinion, with a lot of comic book films. Not all of them, but a lot of
Mhm.
them are so worried about being clean and perfect to match with the visual effects that are going to go
I'll
in.
disagree a little bit because there are a lot of shots in the fourth one, Crystal Skull,
Mhm.
where Spielberg is good at pulling the camera. And this is a little bit different, I understand, but he's good at pulling the camera back. Like when Indy and the Russian fall down, right, and then they're on a platform like a something that's holding up a rocket,
Right.
and he grabs the chain and he jumps off it and swings around and kicks the guy into the control deck room.
Right.
It's a wider, cleaner shot because Spielberg's a lot better at staging fight scenes than doing 40 cuts of Liam Neeson hopping over a fence.
Well, I mean, Spielberg is Spielberg. There's a
Now,
reason.
there is issues with the fact that, yeah, things have a very produced, I guess the word for it is produced look is how I would describe it. Like, because it's CG, like it's produced to look a certain way. The color, the everything is very highly produced.
So
Um,
one thing that Spielberg does better than anyone else that I can think of probably is he blocks and plans camera moves most of the time day of. Jurassic
mm,
Park, all of his most famous stuff he does right there with the actors, literally walking around set, and he determines everything you're going to do. Um, when you are working with heavy visual effects, you can't do that.
yeah.
You have to plan everything months in advance. The camera has to move just so because they have to begin building all the visual effects long before you get to that point. So the camera can only move this way because this is how all the assets we built move.
Mm,
There's things changing that, right? The Mandalorian was shot on on a set that was like,
right.
it's got the screen, and so it
And that's kind
tracks
of the
the
weird
camera.
thing about Indy 5. It's one of the most expensive films ever made because they made it during COVID on location with a shit ton of extras.
Right.
So it has this much grittier feel than Crystal Skull does.
Well, that's
Um,
that's the thing that excites me is like most of yes, there's still CGI
there
stuff with
is
Harrison Ford
100%.
for sure. But the part of the thing that was a sell for me was that like, oh, we grounded this again. Instead of going the way
It's
4 was, we grounded it.
it's much gritty because it's James Mangold, and so
Yeah.
it's gritty, much grittier like Raiders.
Mhm.
It's closer in tone to Raiders than any film after Raiders.
Oh, well, so that's really exciting. Yeah, I like that.
It's not as good as Raiders, but
Nothing's ever going to compete with the first of its iteration most of the time,
right.
right? Like you're not going to be able to necessarily do that. But This is where like we talk about like, oh, Metacritic or you know, and I realize I've been drawing this into movies way more than games at this point, but
it's okay. I'll draw it on the games this time and then next week for a birthday stream.
yeah, that's fair.
Birthday podcast, whatever. Go ahead.
But like you'll see like, oh, it's getting 49% from critics or 59% from critics, and it's getting 88% from audience. And like you're like, oh, why are the critics so out of touch? Well, the critics are
the two things that kind of driven me, like, you know, critics have like my critics are touch and kind of is Super Mario Brothers, because that has a much lower review aggregate, because Indy 5 is at 69. Nice.
right.
Mario was like 50 something or whatever. I don't remember what it is offhand. Mario was low, to the point that even Miyamoto commented on it. And thought it was almost like a positive because it made people like wonder more about it to go see it.
Okay, well, critics are supposed to be hard to please. They're supposed to have the most taste, right? That's why they're paid to go do this.
Well,
they
yeah,
see a million movies, art movies, all sorts of shit. Two, I always argue that you should find a critic that you tend to agree with, and that's you shouldn't.
The sad thing is, I looked for Mario and for other stuff, and I don't think the guy I used to like his reviews. I don't think he reviews movies anymore. He's moved into a more managerial role or something, or whatever.
Well,
so I was like, fuck.
Aggregation of critic scores has killed the art of criticism.
Right, because people just kind of seeing like, oh, well, I heard this film wasn't that good, and it's like the audience score is way different from the critic score. Like,
right, and I would argue that neither of them matter.
And
they
no,
only
they
matter
don't,
from a marketing perspective. It's so marketing executives, especially, really, really, really love quantifiable numbers. They love fucking numbers that they could just be, oh, we're look at 88%. 88% of what?
5,000 user reviews.
Because as most people know, 88% of everybody they know has at the very least different taste than them, but you'd probably sit there and go like, they have shit taste. Like 80% of the time you don't agree with most other people in the room on what you like.
So it's a weird thing for me. It was like Mario Brothers was low. But I kind of get why Mario Brothers was low, and I had to like keep reminding Kenny about this. I'm like, you know, Mario Brothers is low because that movie makes no fucking sense to anyone who didn't grow up with Mario Brothers. Now that seems crazy in hindsight. Who the fuck didn't play Mario? And I'm like, oh, these movie critics. And if you don't know the source material at all, that movie is fucking nonsense.
Right.
But for those who played the games, it's fucking wonderful because it's the games like on screen.
And even if you didn't play the games, if you watched all the lead up shit that came out about Mario on YouTube before you went and saw it to make sure you get all the references, because that is a whole genre of YouTube. Everything that you need to know to go watch blah blah blah.
Oh my god, that
and I hate it.
And the thing is, like, I hate critics even when they're happy sometimes, because Last Jedi is still like the highest rated Star Wars movie, and I'm like, that movie fucking sucked. And not even for the reasons a lot of other people like to shit, like, you know, hate on that film. I'm like, no, that movie sucked because it was just character assassination, the film.
We should separate, in my opinion, I think we should separate critics from like content creators.
And I do, and that's actually something I did want to do here. And that's the thing, I'm gonna let you in. I'm gonna let everyone who's listening in on kind of like a dirty secret. It's not really a secret. It's probably something
everybody knows this now.
It's something anyone either knows it or could have figured out if they spent 5 seconds thinking about it. And this goes for gaming, and this goes for film, and the whole reason we got on this tangent was because I literally was talking about how, you know, I saw Indy 5 and I kind of liked it. You know, I was like, it's like third best indie film. It's like not nearly as good as my two favorites, but it's still pretty decent. Like, it's better than Skull.
It's better than Temple of Doom.
It's better than Temple of Doom. It's better than Crystal Skull. And I have no fucking problem saying that. Period. Like I mean, if you remove yourself, you're not a fucking kid, and this isn't the first or second indie film you've ever seen in your life, and you haven't seen that many other films, and that's why it's amazing. Like you like take away that, and I'm like, yeah, but anyways, 88%. I was like, 80%. Wow, that's a really damn good audience score, because, you know, people like to review bomb the shit out of stuff nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Especially if there's like a hint of like discontent about it. Like 80%, that's really good. I'm like, wow. You wouldn't think so from the movie critics at 69, you know, nice. But then it's like there's a bunch of other YouTube people who, you know, were dunking on the film. And I'm kind of like, you know, here's the dirty secret. Those sort of famous drunkard content creators on YouTube, You know who you are. I pretty much ousted you with the whole drinking thing. If that's part of your brand, it is more financially incentivized for them to hate on the film, to dunk on it. Even if they truly didn't like it, they were incentivized monetarily to go hard on hating the movie.
Right.
Because man, do you get better clicks if you hate something and you can thumbnail how much you hate it or why something with big exclamation marks and yellow lettering, and you can put a nice fat hateful fucking title in that, in it. Like, you're gonna get more money, you're gonna get more views, you're gonna get more clicks, you're gonna get more intrigue. Hating shit is profitable
Right. And we
to
can real
YouTube
talk that.
content creators. Like, real fucking shit. Hating shit is fucking more profitable for a lot of people on YouTube. And I'm kind of like tired of being nice or dancing around it. And the thing is, I early on, and I'm going to be out this. I've done this myself. I do this myself. I initially the first kind of videos we did 10 years ago on YouTube was me ranting.
Right.
That was a thing. And the thing is, I've kind of had my Asura's Wrath moment where my rage is gone now. And I've learned, like, I don't want to go. Okay, like, I went into Indy 5 not expecting it to be the best indie film, probably not expecting it to be, better than Crusader Raiders, and it wasn't. But you know what? I went into it hoping I'd have a good time.
Yeah.
Good director. Just a good director. Ford loves doing this role. You can always tell when an actor actually really fucking loves doing the role. And fucking A, does Ford love this role? And he fucking, like, it's weird because some people are like, and like, oh, I don't really like how they're trying to give Indy so much character. I'm like, what? I don't know. Like, to me, it's just it's a weird take for me where it's like Indy's is a male power fantasy. He shouldn't try to force depth and characterization upon him. And I don't really agree with that myself. But either way, here and there, I just wanted to have a good time.
Right.
And I had a good time.
I
And I made a little video about it, reviewing the whole franchise. And here's the thing: I put a video on my YouTube channel, that was just reviewing the whole franchise in a nutshell. I played like one of the old Super NES games, right?
mhm.
And it's done relatively nothing compared to our other movie reviews, where I could dig up like BVS and Justice League and like Alien Covenant, where we fucking hated those films. We got phenomenally better. I got phenomenally
Right.
better
Yeah.
review.
I mean, hate always does better
Like,
on the
oh,
algo.
here's a film where I rank all the indie films, and I pretty much enjoy all of them, even Doom to some extent. Fuck that. I don't want to hear about this guy loving his movies.
So, with talking about a certain drunken critic, which I don't know why we're beating around the bush with his name, but I will talk about one. He has a point a lot of the time. He shits on everything for
I
having
was
like
thinking,
the message.
I was
Um,
thinking of multiple people, so I don't even know who you're going with here. But go ahead.
oh well, I'll talk about the critical drinker. Um,
Oh, that's not who I was
oh
talking
well,
about.
fair. Okay, so he
I
gets
don't
he
even
gets
know
a
who that
lot
is.
of hate because he shits specifically on any like wokeisms. Anything that's kind of
A
woke,
word
he
that's
shits on.
lost all meaning.
Yeah, I don't think it's never really had a meaning in the zeitgeist. Um, but one of the things that I think I get frustrated with that guy in particular is like sometimes he has really good points, but every time he talks about the writers being the person pushing the message or some, it's like, do you understand that in the last 15 years, almost all creative executives are marketing people? They just go on fucking Google Trends and try to figure out what gets the most attention. And then they force writers. This is part of the reason the fucking writer's strike is happening. Force writers to write inane bullshit into their stories to address whatever is the most catches the most eyes and shit. That's a thing. Seriously, tech bros and CMOs and shit force their way into any artistic field, and that's the first thing they do. They start looking at algorithms to try and figure out
Yeah.
what gets the most eyes. That's never how art has worked, like
Yeah.
ever. So I do think he's made good points, and he is an accomplished writer. That guy is
I don't even know who this is, honestly.
he does YouTube like reviews of movies and stuff. I don't agree with I don't know 80%, but sometimes he hits a good point on like a movie that is particularly bad.
Yeah, like, well, one of the critics, and then I'm going to oust him now, that I was thinking of in particular. Drinking's not really this critic's brand, this content creator's brand necessarily. Other people are drinking on camera is kind of their brand, but they made a really damn good point about Last Jedi that I really liked, actually. Even though I think they kind of oversell the drama of being upset.
mhm.
I'm not going to say the other word. Where he was like, fuck this movie. Luke Skywalker, the one person in the whole fucking universe who saw the last tiny bit of shred of good in Vader and was convinced, there was something there to him when everyone told him there wasn't. He's the one who had one bad dream about his nephew, decided I need to kill him immediately. No.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, an entire generation of people who did massive protests to avoid war and protested for education rights and for energy rights turned against nuclear on a dime and also made it the worst ever for getting educated and also got us into 2 forever wars.
Yeah,
I wonder how that
that
happens. How does that
that is
happen?
such a weird thing about like the boomers where I'm like, wait,
Oh,
how
great. So the boomer hero from the 1970s who saw one bad thing in a dream and decided that they had to go to extremes to protect their power base and their way of yeah, no, that's the most normal fucking thing I can think of.
no.
Anybody who was like, that's not realistic. Yeah, well, you're watching a space
My
wizard movie.
well, okay,
So,
well, I think you answered your own question. You watched a Space Wizard movie. Don't fucking,
yeah, we
don't
just
try to equate this to like, your boomer parents, in a
old
Vietnam War protest now rawing, the war in
no,
Afghanistan
but
or
that's my
Iraq.
point is like a dude gets older and becomes jaded and becomes much more cynical and much more prone to
Which
giving up hope.
I was willing
Is a
to
normal arc.
accept. I was willing to accept if it wasn't in a fucking 2-minute flashback between
Well,
30 years of film. Like, mm, that's not good cinema. That's
well,
not good writing.
I
Like
do agree.
I want to have this big twist on this character. Why? Because you won't expect it. Okay. How are you going to build that up? I'll have a quick flashback. That's it. Yeah.
I don't like mystery boxing constantly, and so I didn't agree with making Luke a mystery box in the first movie.
Of course not. That was also fucking stupid. The
So,
reality is they're all fucking badly written,
well, no plan, no, I don't know.
but directed well.
Yeah, yeah.
Acted well, directed well, written horribly. Like I mean, it's fuck it. It's our podcast. Can we really? Are we ever going to have the conversation about how fuckily they fucked up Finn's character? How
Oh
he
no, yeah.
literally reset this character to 0. It was like almost downright. It was, dare I say it, downright fucking racist. Practically.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna like comment on behind the scenes shit I don't
Because
know.
I
But
know that's what John Boyega's kind of felt like, in interviews and shit. Like he's definitely he feels slighted because he fucking was slighted.
here's what I think actually happened, and this is my own theory. The response to a stormtrooper being a Jedi from the marketing material, when he like fucking and
Yeah.
turns on and and you're just like, oh, a stormtrooper that becomes a Jedi was so strong that J.J. Abrams immediately was like, oh, I can't have that.
But he's the one
I
who
gotta
started
subvert.
it. No,
No.
Ryan
The
Johnson's the
marketing,
one.
material subvert is the one that started that. I don't think it was ever planned for him to be a Jedi.
That's literally not what John Boyega said. John
Mm,
Boyega said that JJ was the one who wanted that.
Oh well,
He
so
he straight up said it like he wanted him. He intended for him to go down that path. That was the intention of 7. It was your boy Ryan who fucked that all up.
well that
And
sucks
that's why John
because that
Boyega
was the
literally
most
said
exciting thing about 7.
John Boyega literally said that like JJ was trying to fix shit in 9. He literally like said that in an interview because he doesn't care. He was so burnt from the process.
So what I thought they were trying to do with 7 is that uh, I thought he was trying to like do a subversion thing where he set it up where it's like, oh, maybe Rey isn't actually the Jedi. Maybe John Boyega Finn is the Jedi.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he was planning to like, nope, Rey's the Jedi, and John Boyega is not a Jedi, and he's going to be the new Han Solo.
It was supposed to be both.
Well, yeah, I thought that would be more interesting too, but um, It's not that I've never really had a problem with Rey's character. Like
They gave her nothing to do. That's my
yeah,
problem.
like she's got like her arc is the least interesting arc.
Yeah, because there's nothing going on.
Right. And it's like Finn was a child soldier who all he wants to do is run away and he constantly has to face things. That's the most interesting guy in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
like, like you had the best if they would have made that Rey's character, that would have been cool as hell. Even
Ray
if she
should
was
have
a Mary Sue.
honestly, Ray could have just been the B plot, and it could have been just about Finn and Poe.
Well, that could have been interesting. It could have also been interesting if Rey, instead of being a Jedi, or even if she was a Jedi or Force sensitive, being taken under the wing of Han Solo because
Right.
she likes the ship, she likes that stuff, and so she turns away from being a Jedi in the proper sense of the word to be a scoundrel. You know, and
Which
the
would have
guy
been
that
a
nobody wants to
more
be a Jedi.
would have been a more interesting. I mean, you would have had to get Harrison Ford on board for all those
Well,
movies,
no,
which
they wanted to, they so clearly wanted to kill Harrison Ford.
Harrison wanted to kill Harrison.
Yeah, but I think
He
he would
hates
have been
that
more
character.
he would have been more interested in a role of Harrison Ford or of Han Solo being forced into a mentorship. Like,
Right, because he's always said his biggest issue with Han Solo is that his character had no point in being there after the end of Empire. He's like he always has said he should have died in Empire.
yeah, I mean
That
I think that's clearly what was supposed to happen.
like Harrison's always felt like, why don't we just kill this guy? He has no point in this story anymore.
Right.
And George was like, no, and he's like, why? Like he's
Because George was going, Han Solo's money. Han Solo's worth all the dollars. That's why we got to soften his image.
But again, it kind of like really shows like he really doesn't care about that character, but he fucking like someone had like this great fucking like clip of him on the red carpet for Dial of Destiny, and he's like going up and like signing shit, and he's like doing big group photos with all the indie
Which he
cosplayers and
never
stuff,
does. Yeah.
which he never does. Why?
Mhm.
Because he doesn't like his other characters. He likes indie, and that's actually kind of something I think beautiful in a way where you can.
Well, he routinely calls the films he's working on shit. He'll just openly be like, "Let's shoot this shit." There was that interview for the Marvel movie that he was doing where Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie was all like, "Man, I was so nervous," but then Harrison Ford would just like stand up and casually walk on the set and be like, "All right, everybody, let's shoot this shit." And you're just like, "Oh, that's funny." He clearly does not care.
But I think that's sort of something beautiful, really, where like he cares about this role, and it shines through. Like
Yeah.
I want to be here, I want to be
Mhm.
doing this. This is I love fucking this. Or well, okay, phrasing, but
He does love fucking that.
and here's the thing: I kind of just, if anything, I just want to implore people, if anything, at the end of this rant, this
To
jumble
fucking
of a
enjoy
rant,
things.
just enjoy things. Don't go in because and we saw this, we talked about this already, but we saw this with 16. People got wind early on, hey, this isn't really RPG, it's very actiony. There's not a lot of stat stuff. You don't have to do a lot. Like there's very little like and I didn't realize it till halfway through the game, and then it confirmed with me because I was starting to count the numbers. And I'm like, wait a minute. Magic has there's no magic system.
Right. It's just whichever one you like using.
Fire doesn't actually work better on water-based enemies and vice versa. I'm like, no, all magic's the same.
Right.
Like if it's a fire enemy, you can do fire attacks on them and it'll do just as much damage.
Yeah.
There's no RPG elements to it. And like some people were like really like you saw it right before the game came out. There was like this wave of sort of negative. This isn't Final Fantasy. This isn't even an RPG.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. And then it starts getting man, this game's fucking fun as shit. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's fun as shit. Like
So there's this thing that, especially like with critics, but also because YouTube has become so popular, and all the best YouTubers have an opinion, have a point of view, right? You can't just be
yeah.
you running a YouTube channel and being like, I like everything and everything is good and fine. And like you know what? I'll start a YouTube channel where every video I release is just me looking into camera for 30 seconds and then going, and I liked it. Like, I'll do that. We need the positivity.
Because here's the thing, I want to be upfront here. I've been a Debbie Downer on many things.
Right. The first half of the entire series of podcasts that we did, we were cynical as hell. We had an entire, I don't know if we did it on the podcast, but we had an entire conversation where we were just like, we're tired of being so cynical. One, because it's just easy to get like locked into a rant.
Yeah,
Like it is just easy to talk about it, but also like the algorithm fucking loves that shit.
it sure does.
God,
Because
whatever
yeah,
you complain about.
I mean, I'm still cynical during the directs, you know, the Sony, Nintendo directs, and Micro.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
still
trust
super cynical
corporations.
because it's so corporate. It's so corporate, heavy-handed, ham-fisted,
Yeah,
whatever. But um, I've prided myself by saying like, look, I don't like Kingdom Hearts, so I don't make Kingdom Hearts videos. I've kind of fallen a little bit. I've fallen pretty far out of love with Zelda. I made one Tears of the Kingdom video about early impressions. Maybe I should go back and do, because my impressions did actually get a little bit better, you know, after beating the game.
right.
Um, but you know, people were kind of riding my ass because on the last Nintendo Direct, I was kind of just like shitting over Pikmin 4. And for me, it's almost it's kind of a joke, and it kind of isn't, but it is kind of a joke. And the thing is like I don't really need to be shitting on Pikmin 4. I shit on the fact that like Nintendo will literally ignore half of more of its other franchises because Miyamoto's just wants Pikmin to be a
He just
thing.
loves Pikmin.
Just loves Pikmin, which
Part of me gets it.
there's a cynical side like, yeah, like great, look at the fucking nepotism of this asshole, like, you know, but then the other side is like, well,
He gets to
here's
make the thing he loves.
let's look at the other side of this. He fucking loves a franchise that even if it doesn't sell 50 million copies like Mario Kart, he is still going to get a sequel made, even
Right.
if it is, you know, 10 years later. Like stepping back and going like, okay, I can feel however I want about Pikmin. End of the day, there is still someone who fucking loves Pikmin there at Nintendo's enough that
Yeah.
they will actually keep making them. And so for the fucking people who do love Pikmin, you know, who spend their times with their hands up something's ass like a Muppet, um, they get every so often a great game. Now the thing is I'm a bit of a whiny bitch, ungrateful bitch here about this because I'm a fan of one of the most prolific developers that Nintendo owns. And every 2 years, they've got a major product coming out. And Pikmin fans have to wait fucking decades for their sequels. And I don't. So it kind of makes me kind of the asshole who keeps getting, you keep getting all the big fucking content you want, even though that doesn't sell super great, even though they just keep doing it anyways. And then fucking Pikmin, the second highest paid person, gets $2 million a year, as we just learned, from Nintendo, even he has to spend 10 years between Pikmin games,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
well,
kind of like
the main difference is that Pikmin's not good. Yeah, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I was just that was for laughs. I have nothing against
right.
Pikmin.
This is where the thing is like, you know, I'm half joking about this because the thing is I owned Pikmin 1. I beat Pikmin 1. That's why I'm never going to buy another Pikmin game. But they're perfectly good games. Like
Yeah.
it's honestly it's a good game. It's a weird, cute, quirky, real-time strategy game.
I really liked that Pikmin rip Overlord.
Oh yeah, Overlord.
You can't love Overlord and then shit talk Pikmin. Like it's just
Yeah.
Overlord's just like a
Yeah.
more cynical rip of Pikmin. Very fun game though.
But so that's the thing is I kind of want to like turn a bit of a new leaf here, you know, right here where it's just like, look, I'm going to spend less of my time than even I feel like you said we've already kind of turned a corner and I want to turn a corner and flip a leaf here where I'm like I'm going to try to spend less time just generally shitting on say Pikmin or whatever Square Enix farts out that I don't immediately love or whatever. It's cuz it's like I don't even fucking care because now I'm at the point now where I'm like, if I don't like something, I don't fucking care, and I don't want to. I don't even want to fucking talk about it because I'm not adding anything to the conversation. So when it comes to watching new movies now and playing new video games, I implore people, our listeners here, man, please don't fucking just take any one, or especially don't take an online mob mentalities word for something here, especially content creators who are, you know,
Incentivized to shit on it.
incentivized to shit on things, and
Right.
critics who, if there are of the major critics left in the game industry, they're all fucking burnt out. Like I know this for a fucking fact. Like
Well, so what I would say, especially for movies, um, you know, with movies, don't look at Rotten Tomatoes ever. Just don't. Like, if you are interested in seeing the movie, you saw the trailer, you're like, I'm gonna go see that. Just do it. One, you'll enjoy things way more. Even if it's a bad movie, you'll actually enjoy it more because there's a psychological trick. It happens with hype and with criticism, where if you read that it's bad, you will not enjoy the movie nearly as, even if you love the movie, you'll enjoy it less just because you read that someone else who is an authority said it was bad. If you watch reviews of a movie from, YouTube before you go see a movie, yeah, ostensibly that'll save you money, but it could also just like ruin a movie that you would otherwise love. And there's lots of
Yeah.
bad movies that people love.
I
Like, there's lots of
guarantee
movies that
you. I guarantee you, if you went in
The
blind.
Thing got shit on.
Yes.
The
The
Thing got
Thing.
absolutely massacred.
One of the absolute best horror films of all fucking time was completely shit on critically when it first came out.
Yeah, because they missed the goddamn point entirely.
I guarantee you, if you go in blind to more things, you'll probably generally like things more.
because there's never been as high a quality. Like, things are so high quality now. If it's in theaters, it is made to the absolute highest standard. Like, granted, yeah, a lot of it's commercial, and you can take or leave that. You can say things, nothing is made for the 5, 10, or even $30 million price mark anymore. Now everything's 100 million or more. And that means that you're not going to get any risky ideas. The $10 million film that decides they're going to do a car chase shot in a way that has never been done before, that's not happening. You're not going to get, your $10 million art film in a theater ever again. But
Yeah,
you're also going to get a
I
lot of
wouldn't.
high
I would.
quality films.
I wouldn't bet against it. Actually,
I think now it's more likely. Yeah. I
I
think
wouldn't bet against it.
it's
With
coming.
the number of flops of this year is so fucking high and staggering that they're going to be forced to start getting. Not only are they going to tighten their budget, because the thing is, they may not know it at first. They will know it. Where they're like, we're just going to tighten our budget. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to like spend less. The quality will not hold up if you just spend less. You need to get creative and spend less.
Well, so what I think is going to happen is it's going to mirror exactly what happened in the 70s. So if you're an indie filmmaker, and I'm following this exact advice, right now is the opportune time to figure out how to make your first feature, or, any feature you can make for 100 grand or less. Get it out there, get it into film festivals right now, because just like in the 70s, after 20 years where westerns were pumped out to the highest quality they could possibly be, and you had the studio system that just like cranked out really high quality but in a lot of cases boring fucking films, they started to drop off on returns. People were just tired of the clean commercial, no fresh ideas. It's another, good, the bad, and the ugly rip, whatever. You then had in the early to mid 70s where studios were like, oh, fuck, we need fresh ideas. You went to film school, or in the 90s when it happened the last time, you're an indie filmmaker. It doesn't even have to be the best film they've ever seen. They just need new ideas that
Yeah.
aren't what they've been making. And that's how you get a movie that was made for 25 grand, like Clerks, which is an idea that nobody had before, making a movie about the average man. It's not a high quality film in terms of like the making of it, right? The film quality is meh.
Right.
The sound quality is okay. The music was so bad that they literally paid to have a whole new music compilation put into it before it was released to normal viewers.
Wondering how Fleetwood Mac ended up in such a low budget film.
Yeah. Yeah, they spent double the actual budget of the film redoing the music for the film, because Harvey Weinstein was like, "This is fucking terrible."
But he loved the film.
No, he didn't. I don't think he gave a shit about the film, to be honest.
Oh, you don't know.
I know.
The screening where only one guy laughed hysterically in the back, and that was Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, but he didn't buy it because he thought it was funny. He bought it because he wanted. Miramax had just been bought by Disney, and he wanted to prove that Miramax still had its edge. So he bought the movie that was pissing everybody off, that was making people like, "Oh, it's so crass."
You
That's why
know,
he bought it.
that does sound like a Weinstein thing.
That's what he did, and I'm really happy he did. I love Kevin Smith's movies. Mallrats is my favorite of all of his films. I mean, like, I'm really glad Kevin Smith had a career. But I think even he would say that the reason that his movie was bought wasn't because Weinstein liked the
Well,
movie.
there's
Weinstein
a
was a
okay.
shark.
Well, there's a weird fucking story he told very recently, where
Really?
he was getting phone calls from Harvey Weinstein like a couple of years back, and he was asking about, oh, we're coming up on 10-year anniversary of like Dogma and some of the other Jersey trilogy films. He was like, hey, we should get something going. Like, hey, what do you think? He's like, yeah, that'd be. Kevin was like, sort of just dumbfounded, like, why you want to do? Okay, yeah, sure, that sounds great. And then he got a call from someone else in the studio, someone like not a secretary, but like associate, whatever. And he's just like, "Did Harvey call you?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like, what was he asking about? He's talking about doing like these anniversary releases for these films. He's like, "Uh huh." And he's like, and the associate called after all the news about Harvey finally came to light, and he's like, Harvey was circling the wagon looking for who was still on his side, who was
Right.
still in his camp. He's like, it had nothing to do with him loving your films.
Yeah, he's a fuck by
So,
all accounts.
so like it happened, even it kind of got confirmed late in life for him, where it was like, yeah, he basically he called him like, yeah, hey,
Right.
let's do a big
That
re-release
sucks.
here and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just doing it just to see who's certain, he's seeing who his friends still were
Yeah,
or whatever.
Tarantino has a interview where he said same thing happened to him. Where, like,
Yeah.
he tried to circle the wagons with Tarantino because he's the biggest name of the
Oh my
Weinstein.
God.
Like, I forget what their name. They were like the Miramax guys or something. Like, there was like
Mhm.
a clique that Weinstein had like brought up,
Yeah.
took under his wing type thing. And it was like Tarantino, Smith, and maybe it was Mike Judge. I can't remember who, but like just like his indie guys that he made, you know. Um, I don't know.
He's such a slimy fuck. He's like he
He,
was like the epiphany of it.
ho- he was so powerful for so long that he was able to keep that shit quiet, where it
Yeah.
wasn't just like like everybody knew it, but nobody outside the industry did. The internet, one of the best things about the internet, probably also one of the worst things about the internet, is like nothing's secret anymore.
Yeah.
So whatever's a rumor in an industry, there's a Reddit post about it. There's a fucking tweet thread about it.
Mhm.
There's, a wink, wink,
And
nudge,
see,
nudge
here's the thing.
Tumblr.
I'm never gonna lose my cynical edge for these fuckholes running companies.
Well, yeah, I don't trust companies, but I really, really am pro dev and artist.
Right.
Like,
And so in like like sort of like reiterate here, it's like I don't want to shit on Starfield anymore.
eh,
I
because
want
it
the
looks
game.
fucking cool.
I don't know if it does, but here's the thing. Do I want to sit here and just be like, this game's gonna suck and just talk myself into it, right?
Hmm.
What if it comes out? What if it actually comes out and it's fucking stable and it's good and it works? Actually works. What if it's just fucking good?
It's going to be really hard to play how I normally play
Because then
because
it's like,
normally I like to rest my hands
hmm,
down on my lap with the controller, but I'll be so hard if it comes out and it's just stable
it's
and good
good.
that
You're
I'll
gonna have
have
to
to
learn
like,
to play it vertically, like
yeah, I'll have to
tilted. Like,
like, or, I'm not really, yeah, I'll have to like put my hands on the desk. You know what I mean?
right. So I'm like, I don't. Do I have a lot of faith in the game? I don't. No, I don't. I don't have really any faith in the game. But I don't want to go into September thinking this game's just gonna suck. Because you know something, Starfield could be great. It could be everything it says it is. And if it is, I look like I look like the big asshole. And it's like it's like I'm almost trapped in a way. I'm like, you can't like admit the game was great. Then you look like an idiot, right? You have to hate it. You have to keep on hating it. Never stop hating it. Find any and every glitch video you can and try to
The
like
YouTube curse.
keep your point proven.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, you know what? The game could be fucking awesome. Game could be fucking awesome. It could be. Won't be probably. I don't think it will be, but it could be.
When's the last time you were proven totally wrong on a game?
Oh, that's a very good
Where
question,
you thought it was
actually.
gonna like we'll close out the episode on this, like where you thought this game's gonna suck absolute nuts and it turned out to be great.
Mm, kind of running through. I don't know. Okay, absolute fucking
Well,
nut
I've said it on the
suckage.
podcast before. I thought Final Fantasy 16 up until like a demo got played. I think it was maybe someone got to play the demo and was like, "Oh no, oh we were wrong." I thought 16 was gonna suck nuts, and I am very wrong. I am enjoying it. It is good. I am happy with it. Is it an RPG? I don't know, but it's a really good action game, and I'm enjoying it.
There's definitely been games where I'm like, I've not been super hyped for them, but then became super hyped for them.
Yeah, what the
Um,
Benedict Fox or whatever game
that's a good one.
was surprisingly good.
Honestly, Near Automata was one of them where I was just kind of like, I bought it because Platinum was the
Right?
developer,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
but
Yeah,
like I didn't like I played Drakengard at Game Crazy, and it was a pile of shit.
yeah.
And like I saw like a tiny clip of the first Nier, and I'm like, this looks like doo doo.
I'm trying to think.
So
Uh,
like that happened, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this game is fucking great. Um, there's definitely been other games too where like I didn't think much of it, and then I got it, and I was like, holy fuck, this is great. I'm trying to think of one that I was like just negative going in, and then came away like, fuck this. Not didn't play a lot of it, but I'll give it up for fucking Forza Horizon, Horizon
really?
5 or whatever.
Okay.
I just played it on stream because I could stream it off Game Pass because Game Pass is like slowly becoming the greatest fucking thing ever. And I'm like, hey, this game's actually kind of fun. I don't really give a shit about cars or nothing, but a big, giant, beautiful, like landscape in Mexico to roam around in.
I
Every so often it's actually just kind of fun.
To drive around. Yeah. Well, so for me, recent was like Sniper Elite. I thought I
Mm.
wasn't gonna I thought it was gonna be boring and like a hunting game, but with Nazis. It is sort of, but it's like a stealth kill Nazis from super distances, and it's actually excellent. Sniper Elite 5 is fantastic. Uh, but
Also on
you know
Game
what?
Pass, and I also played that on Game Pass at your recommendation.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
Uh,
big, Jesus
it's
Christ.
huge. Uh, but another game, like an older game that I thought was going to be trash because I liked the progenitor of the type of game. Like I really, really love Tony Hawk games. And so I thought Skate was going to suck. Like it was going to be fucking awful. And then I ended up loving Skate. I spent so many hours just hanging out, like riding around with friends and Skate, that like I have this nostalgia for Skate that like it's not like I ever got like amazing at the game. We were
Mhm.
just doing free skate shit. Uh Loved that game. Older than that, Conker's Bad Fur Day, the first time that we got it, I thought it was gonna be absolute garbage. I thought it was gonna be trash. My brother rented it, and then I had to have it after we we got it.
I must
Um,
have it.
yeah, and then I went and bought it from Blockbuster, and somebody had swapped out the cards, so I got Cruisin' USA and the Conker's fucking box. Um, and then, oh, do you remember Pilot Wings?
Yep.
We rented that as kids, and I was so mad we wasted our fucking rental money. Like, I can't remember what the other option was, but my brother was like, "No, Pilot Wings could be fun." And God, I was raging the whole walk home. I was just yelling about fucking Pilot Wings, and then we ended up having like a great summer afternoon playing Pilot Wings,
Pilot Wing.
like
Super Nintendo 64.
in 64.
Pilot 64. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never played that game.
it's fun. Probably
Chill
the
vibe game.
summer. Yeah, like I don't know, I haven't played it since I was a kid. So now when I go like when I played Blasto as a kid, I actually really liked Blasto. And then when you were like, "Oh, that's garbage," I went back and played maybe an emulated version. Yeah, I think it was an emulated version. I own it on the PS1,
Yeah.
but and it it's so bad. But like so Pilot Wings might be fucking awful, but I have
I don't
strong
think so.
happy memories of it.
Pilot Wings is definitely like a good one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like I feel like there's so many. Like I could almost go like by publisher. Um, I was super down on RE5 when it was first going out because I was like
Oh, really?
so fucking angry that like Capcom had gotten rid of like most of its progenitors. I'm sorry, progenitors, not associated word with the game. Like Mikami was gone and like the
Oh,
production studio
right.
4 was gone. And I was convinced this game was going to be trash. And it wasn't trash. It actually is actually a pretty good
It
game.
was good. Yeah.
Is it creatively bankrupt? Oh fuck yeah. But
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 very well made.
co-op
Right.
is fucking great in that game. There was you can't say I can't say the finished version, but like Devil May Cry 3, when we saw it was gonna be at E3, I was like, "Oh man, 2 was such a piece of shit. Fuck, this series is fucking dead." Oh, wait. Then you saw the demo for 3. I'm like, "Never mind." Um, it's
Fair.
yeah, well, that
Oh,
was like that was a good thing about E3.
Halo ODST I thought was going to be bad, and I love Halo ODST.
Fable 2 was another one. I never fucking got into Fable 1. I was like, Peter Megazord promised the fucking world with the first game, and he promised the world with the second game, to be fair as well. But like the first game was like a bunch of fucking hallways. I was like, this is Crash Bandicoot as an RPG. It's like so linear, like with the pathways and shit. And then Fable 2 was way more open, and I fucking got way addicted to Fable 2
Yeah.
back in the day. So Fable 2 is another one where it's just kind of like, yeah, I was kind of whatever about these games. Part 1, I played part 2, dude, whoa, this shit's addicting.
Uh, ta Tearaway or Torn Away?
Tearaway,
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dalo sent it to me, and I was like, I don't know. He was like, you should play it. You should try it. It's good. He recommended a World War II shooter recently, and I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of it.
Mm,
But I was like, maybe it's a little slow for me, so I haven't played a ton of it, but it's actually also very good.
very good.
But yeah, no, there's lots of things that we've been wrong on. So
Yeah,
ending the episode on don't listen to critics if it's something you're interested in.
yeah, and even if it's something I'm not interested, I'm like, Starfield will be on Game Pass. I will spend nothing but my time, which I usually would argue that's a big commodity. But like,
Mhm.
I don't have to spend any money. I could spend one stream just going into Starfield, and maybe I'll fucking love it. Who knows?
Yes, you
It
will
could
love it.
it could I'm tired of just I'm tired of being tired, of all this other shit. Because the thing is, and maybe it's just because of the fact that I'm like, okay, well, your favorite series had its nice fucking conclusion this year, and it was fucking phenomenally done.
Yeah.
And it had a nice little wrapped up bow on it. Boom. Now you can just start. The world's brighter now. You can move on. You're happy. Nothing got in the way. Like just, you're good. You're solid. Go enjoy some other, go enjoy some other games now. And I have
Go
been,
out and live your life.
like it does no good. Honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't really do you any good to be super down on something, especially for something that you haven't played, haven't watched, haven't seen, isn't out yet. If I'm not interested in it, I'm just not going to talk about it anymore.
And look, I'm not sure this is how it works, but to end on a note of advice, I hear that's how you get cancer. Just being upset all the time.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
just
it's
being
it's
angry.
if anything, it's kind of a cancer of the soul, really.
It is. Now we're getting philosophical. I just, don't take medical advice from me is what I'm getting at. But hopefully, if anybody got anything out of this, it's just enjoy things.
Just enjoy things. Don't take critics word
Too
for
seriously.
everything. Don't even take like don't take our word for everything. Just enjoy things. If something strikes your fancy, maybe just go for it. Just try it out some way. Watch it, play it on your own. Just don't look for don't look for so much peer pressured confirmation or warnings or whatever.
And maybe, kick back off of the YouTube explainer videos, especially before you see it. Because that shit, I think that
How about you
ruined so
just
many movies for me.
just watch it, and then if you were intrigued by what you saw, then watch the explainer.
Yeah, that'll be good. But we always have some patrons to thank. And this the producers for this episode are Mutton Chops Johnson, The Pink Hammer, The Schmidt One, Scrunami, Karoy 35, Hyper Viper 89, and Ziggy Z. Thank you, dudes, and we will catch you next time.
Later, dudes.